If you are 65 or older, or you have a parent who is, stop scrolling right now, because what I am about to tell you could save you thousands of dollars for the rest of your life. This month, July, is quietly one of the most dangerous months of the year for seniors on Medicare and Social Security, and almost nobody is talking about it. There are real deadlines happening right now, not someday, not next year, right now in July, and if you miss even one of them, the penalty does not go away next month or next year. For some of these, the penalty follows you for the rest of your life, added to your bill every single month, forever. I am going to walk you through exactly what is happening, why July matters so much, and exactly what you need to do to protect yourself or your parents. So stay with me because minute 4 is where I break down the one penalty that never, ever goes away, and you need to hear it. Before we go further, if you find this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe right now because we cover these senior finance updates every single week, and you do not want to miss the next one. Let's start with the biggest one, and the one that trips up more seniors than anything else, and that is Medicare enrollment. Here is something most people do not realize. Turning 65 does not automatically mean you are covered. If you are not already collecting Social Security, Medicare does not just switch on for you. You have to sign up and you only get a 7-month window to do it. This window starts 3 months before the month you turn 65, includes your birthday month, and continues for 3 months after. So, if your 65th birthday falls in July of this year, listen carefully. Your window opened back in April and it closes at the end of October. That sounds like plenty of time, and if you are on top of it, it is. But here is where it gets dangerous. Thousands of people every single year assume they will get to it later, or they think their employer coverage counts, or they simply forget, and then that window quietly closes on them. And when it closes, the consequences are not small. Here is the part that should genuinely worry you. If you miss your window and you do not qualify for a special exception, you cannot just sign up whenever you remember. You are stuck waiting for something called the General Enrollment Period, which only runs from January 1st to March 31st each year. That means if you miss your window this year, you could be stuck without coverage, or paying full price out of pocket for your medical care for months. But the enrollment gap is not even the scariest part. The scariest part is the penalty. For Medicare Part B, which covers your doctor visits and outpatient care, the penalty is 10% added to your monthly premium for every full 12-month period you were eligible but did not sign up. And that penalty does not expire. It does not go away after a year. It stays on your bill every single month for as long as you have Medicare, which for most people means for the rest of your life. Let that sink in. Someone who waits just 2 years past their window pays 20% more every month forever. Wait 5 years and you are paying 50% more every single month for the rest of your life. In 2026 dollars, the standard Part B premium is around $203 a month. A 20% penalty adds roughly $40 a month on top of that, forever. Over a 20-year retirement, that is thousands and thousands of dollars gone, simply because of a paperwork deadline that nobody explained clearly enough. And it is not just Part B. Medicare Part D, your prescription drug coverage, works the same brutal way. If you go 63 days or more without drug coverage after you become eligible, you get hit with a penalty too, calculated monthly, and again, it follows you for as long as you have Part D. It might sound smaller month to month, just a few dollars based on the national base premium, but it compounds every single year you go without coverage. And once it is attached to your account, it does not reset. It just keeps growing quietly in the background while you are not looking. So, if you are turning 65 this month, or if you know someone who is, this is your sign to stop putting it off. Go to ssa.gov, create your My Social Security account if you do not have one, and check exactly when your enrollment window closes. If you are already 65 and past your window because you thought your old employer plan was enough, or because life simply got in the way, call Social Security directly and ask if you qualify for a special enrollment period, especially if you or your spouse were still working with employer coverage. Do not guess. Do not assume you are fine. Verify it today because the cost of being wrong is not a one-time fee. It is a lifetime tax on your health care. Now let's talk about something happening this exact month that affects your wallet directly, and that is your Social Security payment schedule. July has an unusual quirk this year that is catching people off guard. Independence Day falls on a Saturday, which means the federal holiday is observed on Friday, July 3rd instead. Because of that shift, if you are someone who normally gets paid on the 3rd of the month, your payment this month actually lands a day earlier. And if you receive supplemental security income, your July payment is arriving on the very first of the month as usual. But because August 1st falls on a Saturday this year, your next payment after that will not come until July 31st. That means some SSI recipients are technically getting two payments within the same calendar month, one on July 1st and one on July 31st, and then nothing at the start of August. If you do not know this ahead of time, it can look like a mistake. Or worse, it can trick you into thinking you have more monthly income than you actually do, which becomes a real problem when your bills come due in August and the check you were expecting already arrived weeks earlier. Mark your calendar now. Know exactly which day your payment is coming, and do not spend ahead of a payment date you have not double-checked. Here is another one most seniors have never heard of, and it could put real money back in your pocket if you act on it correctly. There is a new tax deduction specifically for seniors that took effect for this tax year and continues for a few more years. If you are 65 or older by the last day of the tax year, you may qualify for an extra $6,000 deduction, on top of the standard deduction you already get for being a senior. If you are married and both spouses qualify, that number can double to $12,000. This is not automatic magic money, and it does phase out if your income is above $75,000 for a single filer or $150,000 for joint filers, but for millions of seniors within that range, this is a meaningful reduction in what you owe. The problem is, deductions like this only help you if you actually claim them. And if your tax preparer is not paying close attention, or if you are filing on your own with outdated software, you could easily miss it. This is the kind of thing worth a 5-minute phone call to whoever handles your taxes, just to confirm you are getting every dollar you are entitled to. Let's talk about something that affects seniors who are still working, or whose spouse is still working, past age 65. If you have coverage through a current employer, you may be allowed to delay Medicare Part B without any penalty at all, using what is called a special enrollment period. But here is the trap. This only protects you if the coverage is based on current active work, not retiree coverage, and not COBRA. A lot of people assume any employer plan counts, and it does not. If you are relying on retiree health benefits or COBRA, and assuming you are safe from Medicare penalties, you are not. And this is exactly the kind of gap that quietly costs people thousands of dollars down the road. If this applies to you or someone in your family, this month is the time to call your HR department or benefits administrator and get it in writing, exactly what kind of coverage you have, so there is no confusion later when Medicare comes calling. Now I want to pause here for a second, because I know this is a lot of information, and I know some of this might feel overwhelming, especially if you are hearing it for the first time. But this is exactly why staying informed matters so much, and why I want you to share this video with your parents, your neighbors, anyone in your life over 65. Because the truth is, none of these systems are designed to warn you clearly before it's too late. Nobody sends you a giant red envelope in the mail saying, "Hey, you are about to lock in a penalty for the rest of your life." It happens quietly, in the background, buried in fine print. And by the time people realize what happened, the window has already closed. Let's go back to Medicare for a moment, because I want to give you the clearest possible action plan, especially if your birthday is coming up. If you are approaching 65, do not wait until your actual birthday to start this process. Start 3 months before your birth month, right at the beginning of your enrollment window, because enrolling early in that window means your coverage begins right when you need it, with zero gap and zero risk. If you wait until the last of the 7 months, your coverage may not start immediately, which means you could have a gap with no coverage at all during a stretch where anything could happen, and Medicare will not backdate that gap for you. If you are already retired and collecting Social Security, the good news is you are usually enrolled automatically, and your card should arrive by mail a few months before your 65th birthday. But automatic does not mean foolproof. Mistakes happen. Cards get lost in the mail. Systems glitch. So even if you believe you are automatically enrolled, log into your My Social Security account this week and physically confirm it. It takes 5 minutes and it could save you from a nightmare 6 months from now when you go to the doctor and find out you were never actually enrolled at all. I also want to address something for the caregivers watching this, the sons and daughters managing this for aging parents. If your parent has any cognitive decline or simply avoids dealing with paperwork, please, this month, sit down with them and go through their Medicare status together. Ask them directly, when is your enrollment window? Do you have your card? Have you signed up for a drug plan? These conversations are uncomfortable, I know that, but an uncomfortable 10-minute conversation today is so much better than discovering in 6 months that your parent has been paying a lifelong penalty because nobody checked. Let's talk about scams for a moment, too, because this time of year, whenever there is real confusion about deadlines and penalties, scammers come out of the woodwork pretending to be Medicare or Social Security representatives, calling seniors and saying their benefits are about to be cut off unless they verify their bank information immediately. I want to be absolutely clear with you. Real Medicare and Social Security will never call you demanding your bank account number or threatening to cancel your benefits on the spot. If you ever get a call like that, hang up and call Social Security directly yourself at their official number, which is 1-800-772-1213. Do not give out your information to anyone who calls you first. The real deadlines we are talking about today come from paperwork and enrollment windows, not from someone calling you and demanding immediate payment. Please share this part especially with any senior in your life, because this scam has cost real families real money. Now, here's something practical you can do this week, regardless of your age or situation. Pull up your My Social Security account online. It takes about 10 minutes to set up if you have not already. Once you are in, you can see your exact benefit amount, your payment history, request replacement documents, and most importantly, verify your Medicare enrollment status in black and white, straight from the source, no guessing involved. This single step eliminates almost all of the confusion we have talked about today. If you do nothing else after watching this video, do this one thing. I also want to touch on Medicare Advantage briefly because a lot of seniors are choosing this route these days for the extra benefits it can include, like dental or vision coverage bundled in. If you are considering Medicare Advantage instead of original Medicare, remember you still need to be enrolled in Medicare Parts A and B first before you can join a Medicare Advantage plan. You cannot skip straight to Advantage. And once you are in, the annual maximum out-of-pocket limit for 2026 is around $9,350 for in-network care, which gives you a hard ceiling on your worst-case costs for the year. That number is worth knowing because it can help you sleep better at night, knowing there is a cap, even in a bad health year. Let's zoom out for a second. Why does all of this matter so much right now? In July specifically. It is because July sits right in the middle of the year, far enough from January that people forget about resolutions to get organized, but still early enough that if you catch a problem now, you have time to fix it before the calendar year runs out. If you are turning 65 later this year, your window is ticking right now. If you missed your window in a previous year, the general enrollment period that could help you starts January 1st, which means the work to prepare, the paperwork, the phone calls, the verifying of your coverage history, that groundwork needs to start now, not in December. Waiting until the last minute on any of this almost guarantees mistakes, and mistakes here are not cheap. I know this has been a lot of detail, but I wanted to give you the real numbers, the real windows, and the real risks, not vague warnings, because vague warnings do not protect anybody. What protects you is knowing exactly which dates matter, exactly what a missed deadline actually costs, and exactly which phone number to call when something feels off. So here's your simple checklist before you close this video. 1. Check your Medicare enrollment window if you are turning 65 this year, especially if your birthday is in July. 2. Log into My Social Security and confirm your enrollment status and your exact payment date this month. 3. Ask your tax preparer if you qualify for the new senior deduction. 4. If you or your spouse have employer coverage, confirm in writing whether it is active work coverage or something else. And 5. Please talk to the older adults in your life this week, not someday this week, because these windows do not wait for anyone. If this video helped you or helped you understand something you can now go check for your own parents, do me a favor and drop a comment below, letting me know which one of these surprised you the most. I read every single comment, and it helps me know what to cover next for you. And if you know even one person over 65 who needs to hear this, please share this video with them right now, today, not later, because later is exactly how these deadlines get missed. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. That tells me you genuinely care about getting this right, and that matters. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss next week's update because these rules change constantly, and I will always be here to break them down for you in plain, simple language. Take care of yourself, take care of the people you love, and I will see you in the next one.